Hello. Another episode, another game. Like I told you at the end of last episode, this episode is Ghosts and Goblins, a game that a lot of people really like, and it's not a bad game. It's just, unfairly difficult. It's insane, actually. And this is a port by an infamous little company by the name of Micronics. We're going to get to know a little bit of what they're about, unfortunately, in this episode and the next. Now, to be fair, Ghosts and Goblins for the NES is not the worst port in the world. It's for the most part fine, but there are definitely little quirks. How should we say? First off, right away, obviously the graphics are not even comparable to the arcade version, but you expect that. There's not a lot that you can complain about there. But check out the frame rate. Check out how it operates. Look at, that ain't pretty. I know it's the NES, but we've seen many games run much better than this. It's pretty choppy, to be honest. Which in a game like Ghosts and Goblins, you don't want choppy. You want it to work out as perfectly as possible. Because, God knows, this game doesn't give you any kind of, it doesn't give you any mercy, that's what I should say. Infamously known as the game you have to beat twice just to beat. You don't actually get the proper ending until you've gone through the whole game twice. Which, I've never gone through the game even once. It would be possible to, of course, it just takes a little bit of practice, a little bit of figuring yourself out. But it's not an easy game, despite what anybody may say. Very few people will argue that. The people who will argue that it's a difficult game are the people who have, beaten it a million times and they speedrun it and they're like, oh, it's not that hard. It's like, bruh, you've mastered it. Nothing's hard once you master it. Okay. The Red Devil. So, pretty infamous for being the very first roadblock. A lot of people, they get to the Red Devil and then they just give up. That's the kind of level we're talking there. I know. Already pulling out the water. I'm not sure, Okay, that's right. You just pick up various weapons. The daggers don't seem all that different to throwing your lance. It seems pretty functionally identical, but I'm sure there's a difference. Just one that I am not aware of. I'm not an expert of all things here. We all know that. Okay. Those armor pickups don't mean anything since we're already good on armor. Obviously, if we were naked, then it would mean a little bit something more. Okay. We got him. We got the Red Devil on our second try, so it's not that big of a deal. If you want a real good game in this world, I suppose, following the Ghosts and Goblins lore... that was bad, I should have moved. Check out Gargoyle's Quest. I'm not going to call it an obscure title, but it's not as known as some. Okay, they did add a continue button there. I probably should have used that. I, honestly wasn't aware that the NES version had continues. That's merciful. But, I guess I'll just ignore it and hit new game either way. Not like we got particularly far anyway. I don't even know if that would have made a difference. So, yes, Ghosts and Goblins is a good game. I know I'm talking about how hard it is, sometimes unfairly so, but that doesn't mean it's a bad game, clearly. I will say this is probably the weakest version of Ghosts and Goblins that you could play, at least from a home console standpoint, because what other way is there? Okay, well, that armor didn't actually give me any armor, so I don't even know what that's all about. I'm not very familiar with Ghosts and Goblins, in case that's not painfully obvious at this point. I've played it before, but not a lot, and it's been a long time. I know, that was bad. There exists ports of the arcade version for home consoles for this game. I know the PS2, I think, has like a Capcom arcade collection that features Ghosts and Goblins, the actual arcade version. And that is definitely the version that you want to play over this one. I'd say it's still worth owning a copy of the NES version, just for the history of it. I mean, a lot of people have only ever played the NES version. I think that's kind of why the NES version isn't looked down upon more than it is because, well, for a lot of people, the NES version is Ghosts and Goblins. Like, that's, oh, gosh. That's all that they know. And that'll obviously, you know, bring forth some level of, I don't want to say bias, but nostalgia, maybe. So, we gotta get the Red Devil more figured out. We did get past it once, but consistency is the key in games like this. And really, you know, like so many other NES games, that's really what the trick is with Ghosts and Goblins. Understanding where everything is, understanding how to beat everything. Everything can be countered. And not like that. Usually, figuring out those counters is the hard part. Very sad. So see, we have a continue, but I'm willing to bet it'll just start us right back at the very beginning of stage 1. Yeah. Fortunately, though, we can skip the little opening cutscene, if that's what you want to call it. Yeah, it just brings us right in. So it's still worth using the continue function over new game. Fair enough. Again, obviously, unless you're a hardcore score chaser. Okay. It's much safer to drop down that time. Ooh. I figured it out! That's actually... Wow. You basically have to do the exact opposite of what your intuition tells you to do. You gotta jump away from him, turn around, and then start nailing him. And that appeared to have worked. Okay, this is the furthest we've made it. Mr. Frodo, one step further, and this will be the farthest away from home that I've ever been. What's that cheesy inspirational stuff they say? This is the first day of the rest of your life. Ooh. Those are some, horrifying sound effects. Oh, there goes the pop filter. Oh! He shot! Wasn't expecting a fireball to come from the ogre. Looks like we did get a continue, though. Or, not a continue, but a checkpoint. Which is good. I'm gonna need it. Alright, you can hit him from behind. Which doesn't do us a whole lot of good when, you know, they're coming at us like this. Turbo button actually just doesn't work in this game, by the way. I just tried it. Quick, it's an easy way to get absolutely nothing done. That's those forward-thinking like developers, yeah. Just counter the turbo button right in the code. Oh, no! We're a dead man again. Be prepared to see a lot of that, you know. This game's notorious for giving you 2 hits at most. Actually, 3 hits at most. If you get the golden armor, you can get even 1 more hit, but, you know, this has got that classic, once you jump, you're committed to that jump kind of platforming as well. So there's not a lot you can do about it. If you jump and then you realize that that jump was a bad decision, hey, hindsight is 20/20, that's all I can tell you. Unfortunately, there are no ghouls in this game. Those are reserved for ghosts and ghouls. Oh! I didn't think fast enough. Okay, so there being 6 stages in this game, I'm going to assume that Hidden Continue will bring me to the very, very start of Stage 1. No, actually, it does continue from the checkpoint. Well, that's very kind of this game, actually. I was expecting to be dumped right back into the beginning, which I don't think was a bad assumption. I've seen how NES games treat you. I'm gonna have trust issues with video games from now on. Oh, like that spawn there. The fact that the sprite flickered in too, I wasn't 100% sure if something was actually spawning in there, but it was. Alright, we gotta get to the ogre again, clearly. We are definitely not on pace to beat the game right now. We're 10 minutes in, there are 6 stages. We're still in stage 1. Don't get me wrong, I had no delusions of grandeur that I was gonna beat Ghosts and Goblins in an hour my first time. That would be absurd. Now, fortunately, the music is pretty much intact. There are some ports that people do where they just for some reason like change the music up entirely. I guess maybe that's for like licensing issues with the composer or something like that, but I think honestly this game might even predate such legal frivolities such as that. You know what I'm saying. Yeah, get that side profile of some water drinking. That's what the people come here for. Okay. We gotta get this section down. We gotta get this more consistent. Quit letting these things ruin our day. Only way to do that is to just kind of take care of them the second that you see them pop up. Oh, no, I shouldn't have jumped up at that one, though. This is what I talk about when I say the game sometimes feels almost unfairly difficult at times. And maybe that's just me whining. I mean, like all video games, if you play well enough, if you know what you're doing well enough, you can overcome it. You can overcome anything in a video game. You're gonna say, oh, keep telling yourself that, man. No. You give 99 monkeys 99 NES controllers and they will eventually beat Might and Magic 1. Even though you put Super Mario Brothers into the NES. That's how it goes. That's the theory. Don't at me. Okay. Had to be fast on our feet on that one. Yes, I said that it wasn't all like reflexive, it's more memorization, but these things definitely force you to be a little bit reflexive. Get the ogre. Okay, we were able to DPS burst him down. We still took a hit, but dang it. Hey, and we got our armor back, so look at that. Taking that hit was absolutely worth it. You mash that attack button enough, eventually he'll go down. Alright, we at least made it to stage 2, you know. There exists people who would not make it that far, even. And I'm not trying to use that as a bragging point. I'm not saying, I beat stage 2, not everyone can do that. I'm just saying, you know, I personally know people who likely would not have made it past stage 1. Not because they're bad, just because they would have completely lacked any of the patience for it. They would have gotten to the Red Devil, and then they would have said, not worth it. And again, that's fine. That's fine. I can power through these. Not everybody can, you know? Despite what portions of the retro gaming community may have you believe, the NES is by far from the be-all and end-all of video games. By all means, you may have some strange beings who say that they prefer the Sega Master System. I can't knock it. I've never played a Master System. I've not known anybody who Who owned one? I myself do not yet own one. I plan on getting one someday. These things are hellish. My god. What are those patterns? As far as I can see, you gotta keep your eyes on these things and don't react until they start definitively moving towards you. That's how it's feeling at this point, at least. Or, you know, you just gotta hope that you can get rid of them before they even get a chance to make a considerable move towards you. Get your jumps right. It's a little stiff. I don't know if I have to blame Capcom or Micronics for that, you know. Could go either way. But Micronics are the easier target, so I'll probably just keep blaming them. Oh, leap of faith. Or a drop of faith, rather. Come on now. Was that necessary? I wonder if I even have to climb. What happens if I just go straight right? I guess I haven't even tried that yet. So that's what happens when you go straight right without jumping at all, as it turns out. See, now that I know that the continue has, like, no negative connotation to it, I'm just gonna abuse it. As you should, you know? If a game is not willing to, give you any kind of respect, don't give any respect to the game, you know? It's already thrown the gauntlet down. It has already said, this is how I'm gonna play, so hey, treat it the same way it treats you. That's what I say. If a game is being nice to you, be nice to the game. If a game is, completely raw-dogging you, fair game to, treat it just as miserably. I'm not saying break your games, though, by the way. Video games are a thing that should be cherished and preserved. I'm a strong proponent for the preservation of video games, not just digitally. Although, or I should say, not just physically, because you all know how I feel about physical video games. Big fan. Alright, yeah, so we can just go right. We don't have to climb up that whole thing. We do miss out on a little bit of pointage, but, not particularly concerned about the points. Just kind of want to get through. Look at the tank there! Man, soaking up all the damage. Look at that. That's a checkpoint there, too. That crow exists as just complete bait. It's just gonna hit you, remove your armor. Now that, we're gonna have a game in a few episodes that fully encompasses what that right there was. If you can guess what game that is, congratulations. I'm proud of you. If you don't know, all I'll say is that it is a rightful classic, despite the fact that it emphasizes that right there. Okay. You know, we just gotta gradually make our way through here. You don't have to do it quickly. If you just gotta slowly brute force the game, so be it. And I know that I was saying that this is maybe the worst way of playing Ghosts and Goblins, and I do stand by that. But it's still a playable port. I don't want anyone to think that this is, like, the most garbage port of all time or anything like that. No, no, no. We'll see worse ports tomorrow. It's just, you know, had this been a slightly later stage release, when developers had a little more time, or heck, that hole! Or heck, if it was anybody but Micronics, maybe it would have been better. I think you could have definitely gotten Ghosts and Goblins to perform better than this. Like, it definitely does feel like it scrolls a frame at a time. Like, look at how, yeah, look at that screen scrolling. It's rigid. It's not Super Mario Brothers smooth. And I know, it's easy to compare everything to Mario, but when you're the golden standard, you're the golden standard, you know? Boy, those things take a licking, don't they? Eh. I was worried that that thing was gonna, like, shoot something upwards at me. And, I think I have good reason to be concerned about that. Oh my god. Okay, we're still alive. We got that going. I'm not digging the birds. The birds are, my enemy at this point. Oh, no! It was all the bird's fault. We would have had him dead if it weren't for the bird. And if the bird didn't soak his hit anyway, then the bird probably just would have killed us. So either way, the bird was the true bastard in that scenario. Well, let's talk about the game from not a port perspective, but just from how the game is on its own two legs perspective. It's great. It really is. Like, look at the level design. It may have absolutely maddening enemy placement and enemy movement, but it's all very clever despite that. Especially when you consider that this game does technically predate the NES. I know, we're playing it on the NES, but I believe Ghosts and Goblins might be slightly older than the NES. If I'm wrong about that, then I'm wrong about that. I'll fact check myself and tell you tomorrow if I'm wrong. If I don't mention it, assume I'm right. They do throw forward. They do throw forward. Boy. It's the kind of game that has that feeling of progression where when you realize that you're gonna see something new, you're equal parts excited and equal parts terrified, because you're like, oh god, what's gonna happen to me here? I'm gonna get absolutely... I'm gonna get obliterated by something, aren't I? And yes, you'll get obliterated by everything in this game, as it turns out. Just remember, don't start a new game. That would be tragic at this point. Took you 20 minutes to get to this point. Yet there's something kind of exciting about that, isn't there? Again, it's that feeling of just very gradual improvement. It's not a feeling for everybody, but I thought we would have boosted right over the hole. That's not, you know, it's not a tactical boost, not something that I would recommend intentionally going for in your everyday gameplay. I know, call me a killjoy. I got nothing. You're seeing what's happening. I don't gotta commentate on that. I don't gotta say, oh look, I died. It's pretty apparent that I died. I'm not upset about it. Don't get me wrong. I'm not mad. Death happens, especially in Ghosts and Goblins. If you can't accept a few deaths in a game of Ghosts and Goblins, you've got a long, painful life ahead of you. Okay. Smart movements here. Deliberate movements. Yep, you take out the bird behind you so you can focus on the ogre-esque thing in front of you. Pass this one, because if you climb up there, you're just going to get yourself stuck. And get rid of this boy right here. I don't think they're going to throw anything upwards, so I think I'm safe there. I almost don't want the fireball. I'm feeling like the daggers are doing me well, but... there it is anyway. I don't know if it'll do more damage. I think it does just about the same amount of damage. Oh. We gotta lure him over here. He's not having any of it. How are we gonna get down there when he's being so stubborn? Like, look, man. I'd love to get down there. Okay, okay. He's finally moved the direction that we needed him to move. And we've made it through the Tower of Doom. Unscathed at that. Dismounting from the ladders is a little awkward. Okay. I hate it. The red bird threw me off. I'm not looking for red birds in the sky. I'm looking for normal colored birds. Yeah, that is no checkpoint either. Gotta go through that whole ordeal all over again. Oh, we got to continue with our flame though. That's interesting, actually. Wasn't aware that the game handled continues like that! I hope that you saw me press A. I hope that I have receipts for that. I feel like there's still a lot of dead space on that left side of the screen, but you know, with the aspect ratio that NES games are in, you can't take up the whole screen with just the game alone. That felt like a freebie. I should have been dead for sure. Oh, look at that, he's trying to dunk me. I'm not gonna let that happen. Oh, no, that's right, he can throw! And see right there, there was so much going on. You saw me mashing, well, I guess it's X, but would have been B. You saw it mashing, nothing got thrown because the game was too busy processing other projectiles and other sprites being removed and all of that. Unless that's literally just a property of how this weapon works, which is possible. Well, it's so hard! Like, stage 1, I'm feeling like that was no big deal. I mean, you shouldn't. You know, stage 1 is almost always the easy stage in a game. Amazing how consistently drinking water during one of these sessions keeps your throat from feeling like it's about to jump out of your skin and attack you. Speaking of jumping out of my skin and attacking me, what was that? Can't even make it to the hole, you know? The hole is overrated. Wonderful quotes out of context right there. Don't keep falling for that. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me 100 times, I'm an idiot. That's how the quote goes. Birds! Birds! I hate birds. The birds were bad in Popeye. Birds were bad here. Birds were bad in Chubby Cherub, I think. I don't remember. Boy, we've been barely making that jump for our entire life. Those are the moments when it really sinks in the kind of game that you're dealing with. And again, I came into this expecting this. If I'm being quite frank, I'm further than I thought I'd be at half an hour. It's just how it be, man. We did the exact same thing, but we actually got a different result, so there we go, I'm not crazy. Turns out you can repeat the same thing and expect different results. Sometimes it happens. Usually if you're playing a game with completely broken physics like Bad Rats. I'm not even kidding. I know, you know, Bad Rats is a meme game and for good reason, but if you've ever actually sat down and played it, it is hilarious just how little the game actually functions. You can have the exact same setup and press play on your contraption, and you'll get entirely different outcomes every time you press play, despite not having changed a single piece of the puzzle. Again! I see. This is why I'm not vibing with the fireball. Its sprite takes too long to dissipate, takes too long to get another one off. Don't talk to me about getting fireballs off. I don't know anything about it. Not an expert in that field. Okay, bird spawned over there, that's fine. Good, get rid of him immediately. Don't even deal with the boys over there. Deal with this boy here. Turn around, get the crow. That's how you do it. Baby steps. Get that bird, ignore the dude up there. That's the way to do it. Thank God the bird spawned when it did, in a very opportune place, in a very opportune moment. Okay. Didn't want to turn around. I was worried that would have gotten me into a worse position than I was in to begin with. All of that for a crow to take us away from here. This feels like it's going to be a terrible moment. Okay. Okay. So far, I'm still alive. Okay. I think I played that as well as I could have there. As well as can be expected. Two of them?! No, 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 no! Don't tell me I gotta go all the way back to the start of the, Tower of Death. Oh, you know you're going back. Oh my god. It's vicious. It's truly vicious. Look at what we're dealing with here. You thought running back to the bed of chaos was a big deal? Nothing compared to running back to the, double ogre men. Whatever we want to call them. Let's just, yeah, get rid of this guy beforehand so we don't gotta deal with him later. Ah, you gotta move so you don't get assaulted from above, but if you move, then they're no longer stun-locked. If they're no longer stun-locked, then they, beat you with their, big old coconuts. If I hadn't have moved forward like 2 pixels, I maybe would have gotten out of that. It's no guarantee, but possibly. Alright, if you want to spawn that bird, just jump. That's what I've learned. The audio is losing its mind in portions. Oh no! I thought I would have been safe if I stayed down there in the strange pixel walk area. So, yeah, stage 1, no big deal. If you can get past stage 1, I'm unimpressed. Stage 2, that's when it truly begins. That's when you know that you're gonna be in deep. In too deep, trying to keep up above in your head instead of going under. I believe Socrates said that. You turn around and get the bird, you get clawbird by a spiky ball. Whatever it is that they're throwing at you. Couldn't tell you. And again, it's up to you to just, you know, play better. But it's hard to feel like you're playing better when it feels like some of your inputs are occasionally getting a little bit eaten up. How much of it is me being bad? How much of it is Micronics delivering something from the depths of hell? Don't worry, they'll be back tomorrow with another Micronics creation. Hope you're excited for it. I sure am. You just gotta hope that you've got them in the right place. Ignore the money bags. It's bait. It's bait of the highest degree. We're not worried about points. Points are for the bourgeois. You wanna move? Yeah, that's it. You wanna get your fat ogre arse out of here? No. You're going the wrong way. You're going the wrong way, my boy. My dude. Okay, well. My entire life is spent being foiled by birds. Avians are the true enemy. Forget what you knew about tires. Forget what you knew about space Nazis. It's birds. Always has been. Cue the meme with the astronaut shooting with the other astronaut, you know. Not gonna lie, I was literally trying to formulate a sentence, and I have just a mild enough speech impediment to where it sometimes causes me to physically pause, and during that physical pause, the bird spawned in, and I was kind of like, almost like, kind of whited out, honestly. Oh no, it's a weird deal. I've had that all my life, pretty much. Some days it's worse than others. I'm so glad for that bizarre little pixel walk there, because I would have died on that hole like twice as often as I do. I am so not thankful for the birds, though. I blame Alfred Hitchcock for the invention of birds. He invented the birds when he wrote The Birds. That's historic fact! So if you were to ask me if I would, if I'm gonna beat Stage 2 within the allotted hour, I'd give you a very emphatic doubtful. You may just be looking at this for the next while. And this is a little more what I expected from a Ghosts and Goblins episode. I'm not a Ghosts and Goblins professional. You'll not see me in the Guinness Book of Paid Records. Oh no. I said the thing. Now Guinness is never going to let me in when I break a world record for most times saying the word "the" consecutively. You stay away from me, boys on the left side. Two trailer park ogres going around the outside. Dismounting from the ladders! I went all the way down. I hit left. It didn't do anything. Fix your ladders, Micronics. I need to see that in the next patch for sure. This game is not esports ready in its current state. I'm just gonna say it. I know the people hated Jesus because he spoke the truth, but you know. By the way, can we just all agree that unanimously, what's the word I'm looking for? Despite what your various religious or philosophical affiliations may be, can we just all agree that Jesus, like, genuinely is maybe the greatest role model on the planet? I see some people, they're all like anti religion, and the first thing that they attack is Jesus. I'm like, yo, that's like the one thing that you can't fault. Jesus was a cool ass dude. Radical socialist. Definitely believed in standing with the lowest dregs of society and giving them a voice and a place in the world. How can you go wrong with that? every single moral he has is one that can pretty much unanimously be considered a positive moral. The man didn't say anything controversial, and if he did say something controversial and you think it's controversial, maybe you gotta look at yourself, buddy. Don't get me wrong, there's plenty to criticize in the world of organized religion, but I wouldn't call Jesus one of them. While we're at it, and again, I'm not even making like a religious statement here, but can we all agree, historically speaking, Jesus was absolutely a person too? I actually read stuff from like historians saying like, oh yeah, people who try to spread the like Christ as a myth theory, they're like, they may as well be flat earthers because it's so well documented that he exists. And people's like, oh, what, from the Bible? The Bible can lie. It's like, yo, and all of these other historical texts from non-religious sources, yo, what about this dude, this Roman guy here who writes about Jesus? And we're all like, well, we don't know that that was real. It's like, yo, how do we know Caesar was real then, man? If all we have to go off of, historically speaking, is what people write about, then there's a point where we have to accept that, alright, the dude probably exists. If there's thousands, not even thousands, but if there's like, even dozens, honestly, of written indications that a dude exists, he probably existed. I'm not even gonna get into the whole, is he the son of God? Is he like the actual like Messiah? I'm not even getting into that side of things. You can disagree with that all you want, because I mean, there's no proof for that besides the Bible, and that's another can of worms that I'm not opening right now. But gosh, if you try to say he didn't exist, it's like, bruh, that's ignorant. It's straight up ignorant. May as well say Leonardo da Vinci didn't exist. Now, that said, our modern day depictions of Jesus, not even modern day, our overall depictions of Jesus are probably not exactly completely on brand. I don't know what the big deal with a dashing white dude in the Middle East is. I mean, he was probably a fairly dashing man, don't get me wrong, but highly doubt he was of the Caucasian persuasion. That's a rhyme I didn't think that I'd be pulling out anytime soon. Get me there. That's all I'm saying is, if you're going to criticize something, keep your criticisms valid, keep them on topic. It's the same reason if people are criticizing a political figure, I'm like, hey, if they got things to criticize, which they all do, go for it. But the second people start going to like ridiculous like first grade names and stuff and name calling, I'm like, that's not even criticism, man. You're bringing yourself down to the level of the person that you're claiming is so below you. Be intelligent about it at least, come on. Ad hominem is not a valid form of criticism. Regardless of the side that you're on. Someone might just be laying into an individual, and I might agree with them on like all of it, but then they'll pull out like a first grade name call, and I'll be like, alright, come on. You were doing well until you had to act like a child about it. And they'll be like, well, I don't care, they've lost their right to be respected by me. I'm like, it's not about respecting them, it's about respecting yourself at that point, you know? Act like an adult about it so that you can most definitely feel good about it at the end of the day, you know? And that's how I feel. Alright, we are naked. We are missing our armor. You cannot jump off the ladder halfway down, that is what I've just learned. You can jump. It seems like you have to jump off it from the bottom, but you can't jump off it from halfway down. So, alright, that's wonderfully consistent. Now I feel like I have to play the arcade version just so I can pinpoint which issues were Capcom's design choices and which issues were just Micronics falling asleep at the wheel. Because you never really know until you do both of them, you know? Despite it being a Monday, I've been feeling remarkably good today. I hope that that has been, I hope that that is translated into the on-screen role here. I don't know, I've just kind of felt remarkably alive, despite having to clock into work and do stuff that I don't like doing very much. Sometimes it just doesn't bother you, you know? Sometimes it feels like it's the end of the world. Take the good days when you can get them. So yeah, the best policy there is to just ignore all of those ghosts. Run right past them and hope that, hope that they don't land on you. How is that for an extremely lucky dodge? I don't feel like I deserved any of that. Oh god, and then that happens. I'm feeling less and less like there's much I can do about that, you know? Maybe if I still had, like, the lances or the daggers, it would be a little bit better, but your rate of fire with the fire... I mean, look at that. You can get 2 on screen at a time, then you gotta wait for the other 2 to die down before you can throw more. It's damning. It really is. Yep, just keep running. Just avoid them. They won't bug you if you don't bug them, you know? They're like sharks. Oh, that was close. I was pretty confident that I was gonna get absolutely smeared yet again, but... sometimes... luck saves you the day. And sometimes that happens. Again, the bird. Why the bird? Give me a video game where birds aren't total pieces of garbage, and I'll be impressed with you. I'm not going to necessarily give you anything, because I got nothing to give. Oh, come on. It's so finicky! I think I know what's going on with the ladders, though, and I'm gonna test it right here. As soon as, you know, we get in game. Yeah, so you wind up getting stuck in a crouching... well, that was gonna happen. You end up getting stuck in a crouching pose, and the only way to get out of that crouching pose is to jump or press up. If you press up when you're on a ladder, you just start climbing back up. So you have to jump out of it. Ugh. It's disgusting. Didn't realize that we had a timer up there, just to be even more hilarious. It's like, hey, you're not even gonna make it to the end anyway, but how about we put you under the thumb of a 2.5-minute timer? It's like, boy, you don't have to do that. You really don't. You can refrain. We just game over without even getting over to the other side. I don't think I'm getting better with each consecutive attempt, believe it or not. I definitely have to try the actual arcade version of this, or at least the closest approximate port. Because I don't know, I just can't help but have a feeling that it's a very different story gameplay-wise. It's still gonna be hard as balls, don't get me wrong. I'm not expecting to play the arcade port and then just have Easy Street forever. Ah! Ah! The fireballs don't help. Like, if I could go back to the daggers or the spears, I would. I guess they're lances, maybe, because Arthur's a knight. Shout out to Arthur being in Marvel vs. Capcom 3. The inclusion nobody expected. I'm just getting bullied now. This is pure bullying, and I'm about to call the police. Not because they'll help me, but because, you know, they'll shoot me. Topical. Nervous humor. Point of contention. People of widely varying political opinions disagreeing with things that they should probably be agreeing with. And of course, my opinion is the one that you should be agreeing with. Because it's mine. Bad. Any more birds want to come and ruin my day? That one almost did, actually. The arc on that bird was, not one I was happy to see. Okay. It's been a while since we made it through that building. Get out of my life. Oh my god. That bird was most definitely trying to give me an aneurysm and almost succeeded. Spam that B button on your way down, because you know the nature in this game exists purely to maim you. You can't just fall from that, as it turns out. You do just go right in between the platforms. See, now that is the kind of thing they do just to fluster you. Soul has left body. What is it with this bird? That specific bird has bamboozled me so many times. I can't even tell you what's going on. We have a tumultuous relationship. By tumultuous, I mean I hate it and it hates me. There's nothing to get confused about there. It's an extremely simple narrative. You get away from me right there. You get away from me on that side. You get away from me from above. Everybody just keep your distance. Arthur has had enough of your bullshit. The bird! Always the bird! Not today, bird. Not today. Actually, multiple times today. You know. I shouldn't have even gone for it. I should have just kept going the opposite direction. Or going the same direction, rather. Nice aim you got there, dumbass. Wait, maybe those are the goblins. It is called Ghosts and Goblins. We've seen the ghosts. Are those the goblins? I'd have to assume so. I'm at the point where those are the questions that I'm asking now, you know? Hey, nice. Nice accidental bird shot there. You're getting a promotion, Arthur. Go find your holy grail now. Yo, wait. Is this supposed to be that Arthur? Yeah. Get this guy down here so that on the off chance you actually make it over, you don't gotta deal with him on your way down. Big smarts. Except, you know, making it over there is a tall order. Remove yourself from my presence, bird. Bird! It's always birds! You take the birds out of this game, you've got yourself a 25% easier game. Hell, you have yourself a 75% easier game. The birds are all of the difficulty. But hey, that is classic for this era of gaming, you know? Add in a bunch of flying enemies that can knock you around and bully you. Boom, who needs design at that point? Here's your trophy for designing genius. Enjoy it in hell. There must have been the tiniest remnant of my flame remaining. I'm not gonna bother with the one down there, you know. I'm not giving these goblins any more of my energy. Even if it is hate energy that exists to murder them all. Those flickers on the right side, they got me seeing goblins that aren't even there. Go the other way. Go the other way. Go the other way. Yeah, that's the direction. Oh, God. More flickers. Oh, that's why it's called Ghosts and Goblins, because the sprite flickers make you see things that aren't there, like they're ghosts or something. Oh, that makes sense. The mystery of the name revealed. Because it was such a mystery before. I had no idea, personally. I was like, Ghosts and Goblins? What could that mean? This is more treacherous than it looks here. You ready to get to the double ogres again? 'Cause I'm not, apparently! Don't at me. Don't at me, bro. I've got like maybe 2 more tries. Ignore him. Ignore them all. Go up here. Can't afford to ignore. Can you? Yeah, no, you absolutely can't. Watch this. That's what I was going for right there. You saw it. You kill him, that spawns the bird down there. Super secret techniques. And then you're down this guy, and because you killed the bird down there, this guy's aim is all bad. You killed his best friend Birdo, so he's got no idea what to do. He's trying to cope with the loss of life, but he doesn't know how, so therefore he can't aim properly. Now that bird gets his revenge because Birdo was his best friend, but this guy, he's a little more mentally stable. He understands that sometimes, in order to make things right, you have to take action. So he attacks you. That guy tries, but again, he doesn't quite have what it takes. He can't stop you. Nobody can stop you. That guy, he just said something rude and hoped that that would make you angry enough to give up on your quest. The flickering goblins up there, you know, there's a metaphor there somewhere. This dude here, he gives you just enough space to actually kill him. And it winds up being a good thing. So then you get down here. Now you know that another bird's gonna come your way, but he's flying up too high, so you just go right under him. What happens then? Redbird time. It doesn't matter. You ignore him. You just keep going. You keep minding your own business. The ghosts? Yeah, they exist, but they're having their own pizza party down there, so you're not even particularly concerned about them! Except you are. So, yeah, there's like a minute left on the clock. Not enough time to warrant starting another run there. Again, it's everything that I thought it would have been. Making it past stage 1 was all well and good, but turns out stage 1 is a complete baby joke. Something that actually exists to bring humor to the upper class. They watch poor little peasant babies try to get past stage 1 and they laugh. But for the peasant babies who make it past stage 1, then they've got stage 2 waiting for them, and that's when the true dire nature of your situation truly kicks in when you realize that there's no place to go left. It's cold, the wolves are closing in, and you've got nothing on your person but an NES cartridge of Ghosts and Goblins as the CEO of Micronics from days past begins to scream agonizingly in your ear, for he knows what he has done. That's the story of Ghosts and Goblins, at least. Yeah, that's that. So, I mentioned, we got more Micronics action tomorrow. Oh, wonderful, great. What does that mean for us? I mean, it means we got 1942, another Capcom creation. Published by Capcom, created in the arcades by Capcom, but no, not created for the NES by Capcom. No, created by Micronics. Absolutely wonderful. So, we're going to see what happens when you take a perfectly good shoot-'em-up game and try to make it as offensive to the senses as possible. So I hope that you're ready to join me for that. As always, thank you for watching. We'll catch you next time.